One day I was on Facebook. I seen all these trucking companies, and Rail offered the program where you can get your CDL and everything. So I filled out the application online and got a phone call, and they sent me to up there at Appleton, Wisconsin, and I went through my schooling program up there. Learned a lot. And then after that, I got my own truck and went from there. I was in Arkansas, a little town called Rudy, Arkansas. I was at a truck stop one night, and this family-owned business had an advertisement, a flyer on the truck stop door. He was looking for drivers, and it was a real attractive flyer. It's like the pay that he was offering per mile. One thing led to another. I ended up quitting with Rail. I would say out of the 5 months I was with him, I probably only been in that truck for maybe 1 month. It had so many problems, transmission and engine problems. Just things would just keep breaking down on it. So it was always in the shop, and it was a good thing that he had an older Kenworth sitting around that I could use, because if not, I would have been out of the truck for, a few months. Because this thing had some major issues with it because it had so many miles on it and stuff. I'd probably been working for him for about a month, maybe 2 months, and I get a call from one of the recruiters with Rail. Was wanting to know how everything was going and everything, and I told him everything was going pretty good because I hadn't learned that he was cheating me on my detention pay at the time when they called me. But I just told him I wasn't interested in coming back. And then, but once I did find out down the road that he was cheating me on my detention pay and everything, I remember had Rail had called me, so I ended up calling him back. As I was waiting for Rail to view my application and everything, I had a few other probably 20 companies, and they were all emailing me every day, and I kind of I kind of weeded some of them out, and I got it down to like 3 or 4, and I called them, and every single one of them basically tell you what a driver wants to hear, the pay per mile and everything. But I also looked at the reviews of some of the other drivers that had worked for them, and I've tried. There was a few that I knew, drivers that actually worked for that company, and I would ask them certain things, and I thought, man, this is not a company that I think I want to go work for. I kept on steering back at Rail. Me and my wife actually are adopting my grandson, and he's 10 years old. He likes to go to the zoo and different museums and everything. So the money that I get with Rail, the pay is great, so I can do all this stuff, provide for my family, food, shelter, and to be able to have money to go out and have a nice dinner. I'm allowed to do all this through Rail with a good pay and a good home time. My biggest mistake was I should have talked to Rail before I left on what I could do to increase my pay. If you have a safety concern or something, you can call and talk to your fleet manager and say that something's not safe. They're not going to force you to get on the road. Where this other individual that I was working for, there was no excuses for anything. The stress level, since I've been back, it's went way down low.